just a good old boy.
Alrighty, y'all, it's that time of year. We gotta pull the tanks out. They've gotta be washed out. Put on the trailer. I gotta put the trailer together and take it into the water hauler for a while. Like we always do. A lot of y'all remember me doing this several times. Some of y'all that's new probably never seen this done. But we gotta take this tank. We gotta sit it on the front. There's blocks on the front that goes around the feet of this thing. It holds it, keeps it from moving. Then we run straps over it, keeps it from sliding. And both of these tanks here has got to be set on the back. That'll give me 1,000 gallons. That'll give me a 1,000-gallon nurse tank trailer then, with all three of them. They've all got to be cleaned and washed out. I've got the other sprayer out, it's hooked up to McCormick. We're getting it cleaned out and ready. We're gonna try to do that too today. We've got to start spraying soon. We've decided to go with the Duracore officially. That's what we're going to be using. But right now we're going to get these tanks loaded. We're going to get that trailer moved and put over there next to the water so I can start washing all these tanks out, getting everything ready to go for the spring. It's here. I should have been spraying, but it is what it is. Well, let's assess how bad the situation is. Start with big boy up here. Holy. Oh no. I'm hoping all that washes out. I really am. I can't even see down in that where I'm at. Have to look. These tanks were drained. That other one on the front, you can't get all the water out of it, no matter what you do. Alright, so what I'm doing right now is I got the pump running. I cleaned the filter out in the bottom of this thing. It's so hardy. It's got the filter right on the bottom underneath the tank. I washed it out. Got any debris that might have been in it out, and washed the tank out. And now I've got the pump nozzle running it through the main lines and back through the agitator, blowing through the bottom and cleaning those lines out. Once I run it for a few minutes, I got the water off. I put so much water in there and let all that crud that probably in them lines clean out. I'll turn it off, wash the tank back out with a filter off of it, and that should get everything that was in them lines back out of the tank, at least as good as you're gonna get it. Then once that's done, I've got to put water back in it, put the filter back on, and then we got to take all the tips off with all these nozzles all the way across. I've got to wash these lines out throughout the sprayer. Each tip's going to have to be cleaned by hand with a sprayer nozzle and a bucket. I like to take each one and wash it out by hand. Look down through there, I take the air hose, blow the tips out, make sure they're clean. Then all those have got to be put back on, turn it on, and then generally the lines will always have, one of them will have a little bit of extra trash in it, it'll plug one of them. I have to go back, wash a couple of them back out till they're all spraying fine, and they should be good to go. These tanks have got to be either sprayed out with a nozzle if you can get it out, because that's the only way you can get these out. Put some tank cleaner, sometimes I have to do that in these, which these I think are okay because I drained these fully before we put up. I know that in there is clean. This here might have a little in it, but this in here I generally have to, if you're new to the channel, get down in that manhole in the top and scrub it with a brush and a hose and dry it out and clean it all out, because if I pump algae and stuff out of that tank, it's going in this one, and then I have to repeat this whole process. That algae will get through each one of these nozzles and start to plug it after you run the whole sprayer through it. You'll get one that won't be streaming just right, and it's just a pain in the rear, and you're constantly chasing yourself if you don't do these things. For the first 3 or 4 fields you do, you'll be getting off continuously fixing the nozzle, and I hate doing that. I don't like doing that. I like to go through and get through them all and do it. This sprayer, the agitator is leaking right there around the top. That needs to be fixed. That needs to be taken out, and we're gonna have to figure out what's wrong. I think this plastic tank port is busted. That's what's causing it. Either that or it should, that metal pipe should go up in it, and it's causing it to spray out of the top instead of the bottom. So we're probably gonna have to deal with that here in just a minute. But let me get the tank cleaned out first, and then I'll go into all that mess. Alrighty, I got the filter off and I just drained the tank out, and this is just water in this tank. There probably is a little bit of residue from herbicide, but it's nearly nothing. I want to show y'all this filter. This is after I washed it out. This filter was just clean, and you can see all those little pieces in there. They'll stop up nozzles. That's what this filter's for. And I don't know if y'all can tell it, but there's white in there as well. Little white pieces, that's surfactant. There's a little piece of it there on the outside of that filter. And there's stuff down in there, and that's old surfactant that was still inside the tank. And over the winter it dries and it turns into that white stuff. And that's what plugs all these nozzles up. Each one of those filters will have surfactant and different things in each nozzle. I have to get a wrench to pull those off. These are copper or steel, whatever they are. I don't remember what those are made out of. Cast, I don't know. Oh, this old one. My other one has plastic ones. Those are better. They don't break as often, but when they break, they're hard to find. But that's what's generally in these tanks is a surfactant from the past year. No matter how good you wash them out, you can't get it all out, and it will do that. So yeah, let me get a wrench, and we're gonna start dropping and pulling these little tips off and putting them into a bucket. All right, so here's one of many. Drop this out. Sometimes these things are so full. Yep, the filters won't drop out. They'll be so clogged up. Then it'll come out. Now I have to take something to dry them out. This is the stuff nobody else shows on our channels that all of us have to do. The non-fun part. Let's see here. And I should have a glove on. The problem is you can't get nothing in there to get it out. Oh boy. This thing's stuck. Oh, y'all probably can't see nothing. These are copper ends. There it is. I just heard a bunch of it just fall down in there. I had to replace some of these. Yep. See all that old powder that just come out of there? That's dried surfactant. Flip in there. There's more of it. Powder, straight powder comes out. Yeah, this is the stuff that nobody ever shows. Non-fun things. But this is part of it. It's not all just driving tractors. Hope y'all can see all that crud up in there around them threads. It's like a sandy material in there. That's all that old dried crap that you gotta get out. Well, I've got all the rest of these to do, and then I'll be back. case you're wondering why I did each individual section, so that way you get more pressure running through each section and help blow that stuff out of. See if the pressure gauge works. The pressure gauge flipped upside down a little bit ago. Let's see if it's got the right amount. Yeah, it's working. It rev it up to where it's supposed to be around 20 psi. It's generally where we run with these style nozzles. It gets the right amount of chemical put down. It's around 20 psi across it. Get the flow rate we're looking for. Let her wash her out. A lot of times I'll walk by and I'll do this. That way it'll throw a little more pressure. I'll put my other glove on. I'll plug up 2 of them. Show what to do that. Let one blow out more than the other. Sometimes if it's bad, I'll do that, but it makes a mess doing this on the ground, water and everything, but it's just part of it. I like to let it run for a little bit, because that way anything that's dried inside those lines, sometimes it'll take a minute of it running through it to wash it out, get it loosened up. Make sure I got enough water still. I don't want to run out of water. Yep, I got plenty of water. I'm gonna turn that hose off. I forgot it's still running. Whew. Yeah, I'm gonna go clean tips for a while and then I'll be back. All right, I got them all back in. Open her up. I see one stopped up still. Woo. Now here, one to the left of the chains has got to be taken back out. One to the inside has got to be taken back out. That thing is completely stopped up. Should be it. Whew. Winds are kicking. Blowing that stuff. Well, take them out, clean them out.